welcome back to This Girl's Life. It's your girl Tiffany back with another video, and today I'm making meatless chili. Come cook with me, guys. Alright, right here I'm just slicing up a red onion. This is about a quarter of a large red onion that I'm just dicing up. Just like that, nice and easy. This is the way I cut my onions just because, I mean, it's less work. So next I'm going to be dicing up some mixed peppers. This is actually fresh peppers that I cut up and put in my freezer, and I keep them in there to use whenever I'm cooking. It's more cost effective in my opinion. You get more for your money, and I'm all about bang for your buck. So yeah, we're just going to dice those up. They don't have to be any particular size because, again, they're frozen, so it's hard to make them uniform. I usually just dice them and then go through again with another little quick dice with this knife. So yeah, just cut them up like so. Slide that to the side. And then we're gonna move on to my cilantro. I just grabbed a little small piece of cilantro, not too much. That might be like a quarter cup. Cilantro has a really strong flavor, so you want to be careful with that. But yeah, that's about a quarter cup of cilantro. It doesn't have to be cut up super small because it's gonna cook down in our chili. Okay, so now at this point I'm going to add about 2 capfuls of vegetable oil to my cast iron pot. And after I do that, I'm going to bring over my onions and peppers and slide that into the pot. We're not going to put the cilantro in right now, just the red onions and the mixed peppers. Just like that. Scrape, scrape, scrape. All right, guys. So next what we're gonna do is I'm gonna season up the peppers just with a little kosher salt, and also I'm gonna add a little black pepper to that. The key to making something good is seasoning it in layers. So I always season my onions and peppers with a little salt and pepper. And I'm just gonna give that a stir to get that oil coated. Well, I can't talk. We're just gonna give that a stir to coat the vegetables with the oil. Look at those onions and peppers, guys, and the steam coming off that pot. This is gonna be so good. It smells so freaking good in this kitchen right now. I'm just adjusting my camera. All right, and give that a nice stir. So I'm gonna let that cook down for about 3-4 minutes. Let them get nice and soft. A little caramelization on those veggies. And while that's doing that, I'm just going to wipe off my cans and open these babies up. I always wipe off my cans because they come from the store and who knows what kind of dust or whatever got on them. So I just wipe them off. Okay, at this point, I went in the cabinet and got a can of manwich. So yeah, that's gonna be the tomato base in this chili today. Usually I use crushed tomatoes and, you know, make my little tomato base from that, but I'm gonna take the quick route and open a can of manwich because it has flavor in it. Manwich comes with chilies and, you know, those taco type flavorings. So yeah, we're taking a shortcut. All right, I'm gonna add in a diced tomato. That's just a small tomato because I only had one today. So if I was you, if you had the option, or dice up a large tomato or 2 of the small ones. But yeah, so I put the tomato in there and the cilantro at this point because the onions and peppers were nice and cooked down. Give that a nice stir, 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 and I turn my pot down. Point, I go over to the sink and pour the liquid off of my canned beans because I just don't like it. I just do not prefer it in my chili. So I pour off the liquid. After I do that, I'm going to take these beans and I am going to pour them into the pot, which you will see me do in a minute. Drain, drain, drain. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is take my meatless crumbles. This, you guys, is Morningstar meatless crumbles grillers. I think it has like a charcoal grilled burger type flavor. This is my first time using this particular product, so I'm not really sure. But since I'm going meatless for August, I decided to try it out. So yeah, I just dumped that in the pot like so. And at this point, I am going to grab my seasoning and get to work. Remember, we're gonna layer those seasonings through the process. I'm gonna give that a little stir, just like that, to get them onions and peppers all throughout, because that's seasoning too. Remember, guys, flavor in layers. Okay, so what I'm gonna add is my chicken bouillon. This comes in the powder form already. I just get the box of the crushed bouillon. I'm gonna add 1.5 packs. That's actually a half a pack that I already had used prior to this video. So I add that, and now I'm gonna add 1 full pack. As you can see, I'm grabbing another one because again, this is not meat, so I want to give it as much flavor as possible. All right, now at this point, we're gonna put our garlic powder. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. I always go a little heavy-handed with the garlic because I love garlic. Next, I'm gonna put a little onion powder. Even though I put onions in the pot, I put a little onion powder just to balance out the flavors. Next, I'm going to add a little cumin. Cumin is one of my favorite seasoning when it comes to making anything with that Mexican or Tex-Mex flavor, chili especially. We're gonna add a little annatto. Now these are things you would typically find in packaged chili powder, but I don't have any, so I'm just using putting all the flavor in there separately by myself. At this point, I'm gonna put a little Slap Your Mama seasoning for a little kick. This is spicy Creole seasoning, so be careful with it. If you don't like your food spicy, be careful. Add a little Total Complete seasoning. This right here is just gonna balance out all the flavors that we already put in there. Shake, shake, shake. It's still kind of full, so I had to shake it really hard, guys. Give that a nice little stir. Get all those flavors melting together. That's how you do that there. It's smelling pretty good too. I think the griller flavored meatless crumbles did kick it up a little notch, because I can smell like a little charcoal broil on that fake meat. All right, so at this point, I'm gonna put in a can of black beans. Now at first I added half the can, but I ended up putting the whole can once I got the pot together. So just put in a whole can of black beans, 1 can of white cannellini beans. When I make my chili, I like to have 3 different color beans in mine. They all have different flavors as well, at least to me. Listen, everybody is different. If you just make like red beans, here you go. Put your red beans in there. Put 2 or 3 cans of red beans. But yeah, I put my can of red beans. And for some reason, when you have red beans, always at the bottom, it's like beans stuck inside with like the thickening juice. I don't know if that's the juice or the starch from the beans, but I save that because I fill that can up with water, and that's going to be the liquid that I add to the pot. Just now I put in the manwich, and here is the can of red beans that I filled to the top with water and stirred it around to get all those beans out the bottom. So yeah, we're just going to stir that up, get everything all melting together, get all that flavor in there. It's smelling good already. But you know me, everything is about layers. So now that I added all of that, I'm going to go ahead and add a few more spices. Oh, and clean up my counter too, because you got to clean as you go, people. At least I do. My kitchen is small. I hate a mess. So I'm just picking up some stuff, throwing that over to the side. Then I am going to grab this packet of taco seasoning. I told you guys, this is an easy, quick chili. Like, this is not my particular chili recipe, but this is just a variation when you want something quick. So what I'm doing here is adding half a pack of the taco seasoning, just to bring all of those flavors together and round out this pot. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. But yeah, like I was saying, this is one of those quick chilies for the nights that you are not in the mood to wait 3 hours for your chili to sit on the stove and simmer, simmer, simmer. This is not an all-day chili like your classic chili recipe. This is, what do you call that? Semi-homemade. Y'all remember that show? I used to love it. But anyway, that's going off track. Out the rabbit hole, Tiffany. Out of the rabbit hole. So yeah, at this point, guys, I'm just adding some more seasoning. I put some garlic in there, some black pepper, some salt, a little more slap your mama. I just put a little more of everything that I already used. As you can see, there goes the annatto seasoning. Some people believe annatto don't have flavor and it's just for color, but it actually does have a flavor profile to it. A little cumin follows the annatto. And at this point, I remembered to add my celery salt. This right here is celery salt I got from the international market. Usually if I would add real celery at the beginning process when you cook the onions and the peppers, if you have real celery, cut up 2 stalks of celery and cook it down with your onions and peppers. I didn't have any, so I'm using celery salt. And then I'm going to mix all of this together, get those flavors through and through. And it looks good already. Look at that, y'all. Look at that. We barely did anything. All we did was throw stuff in the pot and we're gonna have a whole meal, okay? I'm really not a carb eater these days, so I did not make any rice on the side, but you guys should make some rice on the side of this, all right? And even some cornbread. All right, moving on right along. At this point, I am going to shred up my cheese. Yes, guys, you can use pre-shredded cheese if you choose to, but these days I am doing things more cost effective. So I got me some blocks of cheese and I'm shredding my own cheese. The first cheese I used was some cheddar cheese. And the second piece was some Gouda. You see, some of it didn't get shredded, so I'm just taking that out and I'm gonna put that right back in the top and push it on down, push it on down. We ain't wasting no cheese. That's another piece of the Gouda. So I just used a regular size block of Gouda cheese, and I actually had a large block of the cheddar, and I only used half of that. Okay, guys, half a regular size block of cheddar cheese or a half a block of the large one. All right. So yeah, that's another piece of the cheddar that I'm shredding. And I alternated between the cheeses because I wanted it to be blended up nice. Even though I'm going to mix it myself at the end, I'm just a little OCD, so don't mind me. All the cheese goes in the food processor. No piece left behind, guys. Unless you want a little snack for yourself. But yeah. So right now I'm just wrapping up that other half of that large block of cheddar because we don't need all that cheese. And as you can see on the side, I do have some pre-shredded mozzarella. All right, so what I'm going to do is add some mozzarella to this Gouda and this sharp cheddar so that I can have a nice Mexican blend cheese, if you want to call it that. But yeah, at this point, I'm going to get a Ziploc bag, and what I'm going to do is take 2 large handfuls of the mozzarella cheese and put that in there. I don't know why I feel like I have to shred it, push it around, but again, I told you I'm a little OCD. So yeah, that's 2 large handfuls of the mozzarella, and then I'm going to pour all of this sharp cheddar and Gouda cheese into this bag, like so. Don't spill none. We're not wasting any of this good cheese. Okay, there we go. All right, scrape, scrape, scrape. Since this cheese was shredded by hand or by the food processor, it's sticking a little bit because it doesn't have any of that flour or binder on it. So yeah, I just scraped that out, put it in my Ziploc. Do not push the air out, just close it up because you want that cheese to have space to move around in the bag and get blended up together. And we shake it, shake it, shake it. And there you go. That is a taco cheese blend or Mexican cheese blend. Yes. So at this point, this is when I push the air out the bag. Air is death to cheese. That's where the mold comes from. So I'll definitely always push the air out the bag, guys. And we're gonna go back over to this pot. At this point, it's been simmering for about 15 minutes. So I want to stir it up a little bit. Anything that's sticking on the bottom of the pot, that's why you stir during the cooking process. So that's what I'm doing right now. Just stir that around. Checking it for the texture. I'm definitely gonna cook it down a little bit more so it can thicken, but I'm also gonna check the flavor right now to see what else I need to add, because this pot only needs about another 15 minutes and it will be ready. So yeah, I checked it and decided that I needed to put a little white sugar to cut the acid in the tomatoes. The manwich is super acidic, so that's about 2 tablespoons of sugar. We're not trying to make this chili sweet, guys. We're just trying to balance the acid in the tomatoes. So yeah, I put about 2 tablespoons of white sugar. And at this point, I'm also gonna add a little more kosher salt into this pot and a little bit of this total complete seasoning, just to bring it all together. Everything else was pretty perfect, but I needed a little more salt and some sugar. So I'm just gonna add that, guys. Now remember, when you season your pot, you're seasoning to taste. This is why you have to taste your food as you're cooking. Now give that a nice stir one more time. Get those flavors in there. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. All right, and I'm gonna put the top back on this pot, and I'm going to let that cook down for another 20-25 minutes on low. Yes, so this is after it's been cooking for another 20 minutes or so on low. It's nice and thick, guys, and ready to be put in a bowl and served up for your family. Okay, look at that. Oh my God, oh my God. Okay, so yeah, put your chili in the bowl like so. I put 3 little healthy scoops in there because your girl been waiting to eat this chili for a minute, okay? So yes, at this point, this is where I'm going to top my chili with my favorite condiments. I put some cheese. I got that cheese that I shredded up out of the fridge, guys, and put that on top of the chili. Yes, I needed two little fingerfuls because I love cheese on my chili. Then I'm going to take my sour cream and add a nice little healthy scoop on top like so. Yum yum. Get back over here. Don't go over there, sour cream. I'll get my sour cream off the back too because I need all of it, honey. Okay, so yeah, then I'm going to add a little piece of cilantro for presentation. And there you have it. Dinner is served, guys. This is my meatless chili. This is my first time making it, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. Please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you guys know when I'm dropping another video. And hit that like button if you liked my meatless chili recipe. And comment down below if you guys plan on making it. Let me know how it turns out for you. Thanks for watching. Mwah.